Okay. And okay. Hello, guys. Nobody should stand for injustice. Okay? And there's a movement going on right now called Adopt Don't Shop that is discriminating against reputable breeders. It puts all breeders under the same umbrella and tells people that they should only adopt dogs from rescues and shelters rather than going to a breeder. Which, my speech is over why you should go to a reputable breeder. However, let me preface by saying I'm not against adoption. I think if you can adopt, that you should, but I also understand that there's a necessity for reputable breeders, and so in my speech today I'm going to go over kind of what makes a reputable breeder, why you should buy from a reputable breeder, if that was a word, and kind of a little bit more about the topic. So, my name is Dinah Woodman. I've been a dog trainer for about 11 years. I've done it professionally for about 3 years. And I've been a consecutive world team member for agility a couple times. So the reality of the situation is that not every family is equipped to manage, handle, or even train a dog out of shelters, because a lot of shelter and rescue dogs do come with behavioral problems such as dog aggression, human aggression, resource guarding, temperament issues, training issues, and a lot of families need, or not even families, but individuals need a predictable and healthy dogs for various reasons. So I'm going to kind of get into what makes a reputable breeder. So reputable breeders are the people who produce the most predictable, most sound, and healthy dogs. And if you're asking, well, how do they do that over any other breeder? Testing. Testing is so important in dogs. There's several different kinds of testing, and every breed has its own recommended set of tests. It's usually set by their breed club, which can be found for any breed that is recognized by AKC, FCI, UKC, any of the major kennel clubs around the world. And these are recommended tests, and so reputable breeders will do all of the recommended tests, but they'll go above and beyond. So the first kind of recommended test is a test that tests for structural soundness of the dog. These are done by OFA and PenHip. Those are the big companies that typically test. And these are x-rays to determine soundness of hips, elbows, knees, and spine. OFA also does eye certifications and cardiograms as well to test the healthiness of the heart and the eyes. And it is important to note that any dog who does not pass their tests or certifications won't be bred by reputable breeders. A dog with non-passing hips who is dysplastic won't be bred as to produce the most healthy dogs down the line. The next kind of test is genetic health testing. This is where they use genetic markers to determine whether a dog has, will carry, or does not have a certain disease. Reputable breeders are striving to eradicate many diseases that backyard breeders don't even know they exist because they don't test for them, so they have no idea if they're passing diseases down the line that their dogs will get in the future. These genetic tests also come from the breed clubs, or parent club as a lot of people call them, recommendation, but like in border collies, early onset deafness is not a recommended test, but it is becoming more and more prevalent in the border collie breed, so a lot of reputable breeders are testing for it. They're going beyond the call of responsibleness to make sure that they are producing the most healthy dogs possible. Another kind of test demonstrates social skills, collaborative, and working skills, and that is titles and proving your dog. A lot of responsible breeders, almost all responsible breeders, have some form of working, show, or sport title. These prove the dog's ability to maintain composure in public places, work with humans, conform to the breed standards, and work with or be appropriate around unfamiliar dogs. It proves that your breeder is socializing their dogs properly and working to produce the most stable, a mentally stable dog, and a dog that is still true to their original working form. I won't say the last kind of testing, but the last kind we're going to talk about today is temperament testing. And temperament testing happens with every single puppy that a responsible, reputable breeder produces. And this is a test that they perform on puppies around 8 to 12 weeks old in order to determine where the dog's strengths and weaknesses lie in regards to their temperament. This may include noise sensitivity, confidence issues, or non-issues if a dog is overly confident. But temperament testing allows the breeder to choose the right fit for the puppy when the puppy goes to their new home. This is extremely important on the side of responsible breeding because it allows the breeder to find the best fit, therefore the puppy has an extremely less likely chance of ending up in a rescue or shelter. Responsible breeders do not want their puppies to end up in rescues or shelters. Therefore, when you buy from a responsible, reputable, ethical breeder, you're not contributing to the shelter and rescue population because they don't have dogs who end up in rescues because they care. And that leads us to our next point. Why would a responsible, reputable breeder put all of this work and time and money into their dogs? And it's pretty simple. It's because they care. They care about the dog's quality of life 10 years down the road, not just when they're a puppy, which is why genetic and health testing is so important. They care about the safety of their dogs by providing excellent veterinary care to their whelping dogs and to their current sporting dogs. They care about the dog not ending up in a shelter or being used by a backyard breeder, which is why they use contracts most often. In a reputable breeder's contract, you should at least find the terms and conditions of you purchasing the puppy, a spay-neuter contract if you are not looking to breed the puppy. The spay-neuter contract will typically be listed somewhere around 2 years of age in order to give the puppy the most amount of time to grow and develop, but to keep the dog safe. And they will also include a puppy back contract in their contract as well, and this means that if for any reason the family does not work out, either when the puppy goes home or 10 years down the line, that the dog will come back to the breeder and the breeder will find them a new home. Once again, this means that responsible breeders are not ending up with dogs in shelters because of that puppy back clause in their contract. Lastly, the reasons you should buy from a reputable breeder is it comes down to your necessity and base. A lot of people, like I said, are not equipped to handle or manage shelter dogs. A lot of people don't have the physical strength to handle even a very energetic dog who has no behavioral issues. A lot of families can't afford behavior modification from adoption or rescue dogs. And a lot of families cannot afford thousands of dollars in health bills paying for a dog from a rescue who has dysplastic hips or has some other sort of health issue. By buying from a reputable breeder, you are decreasing greatly the likelihood of you having to deal with these issues. Another reason may be that you're looking for something in specific, like a sport dog or a service dog. Especially in service dogs, temperament is very important, that you get something that fits with the handler of the service dog, and who will work for the issues that in particular person has. And reputable breeders will be very open and honest with you about the health of the dog, about what the dog should be used for, whether that's service work or sport, or their original purpose, like herding or hunting or something like that. And they'll be honest with you about the health and the temperament of the puppy as well. They're not going to try to sell you a dog that you can't handle, like a lot of rescues do, and they're just going to be very open and honest with you. So in conclusion, I hope you guys take out of this speech that adoption is a great option, but also don't forget that reputable breeders are out there keeping an eye out for you and trying to produce the healthiest, most predictable dogs possible for the people who need that kind of thing. And they really do care about their dogs. They're not just pumping puppies out to make money like backyard breeders are. So take a couple of the things I said, and when you look for your next puppy, find a breeder that does all that sort of testing, titling on their dogs, and who genuinely care about their dogs, not just making a fat buck. Thank you guys. Good.